Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, I am SendIt Steve, and today we've got a special sponsorship for the channel. And as you guys do know, they've sponsored the Rough Country lift on there. Well, there, I just gave it away. But we've got Rough Country on board on our 1998 Chevy Tahoe build. And this thing's about to be freaking awesome. So as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are actually doing a body lift on this vehicle first. Rough Country and I had, reached out and we wanted to kind of do something that I haven't done before, and a body lift. I don't do body lifts. I don't think I've ever had a truck that actually had a body lift on it, but I know it's not a horrible thing. I know it's a cheap alternative to gain a few more inches of ride height. And so you can run a bigger tire, which is then ride height. But that's kind of our main agenda for today. So we're going to go out here. I'm going to try to do this video as professional as possible. That's right. SendIt Steve's going to do a professional video. I know. Unheard of, but I'm going to try to do this as professional install as possible. You will have to bear with me. As you guys do know, we did start tearing this thing down. It did have a plow on the front, so some of the steps that you'll see will include, like, the grill has to be disconnected and things like that. Obviously I'll mention it when that part comes, but without further ado, let's just get this ball rolling. All right, guys, so here we have a 3-inch lift kit for this is going to be a GMC Tallhoe Suburban Yukon 1500 2500 body lift. So this is a 3-inch lift kit. Again, you can get this on Rough Country's website. It comes with basically everything you need. There's your 3-inch blocks. Obviously you have plenty of them. I believe this thing has 10 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. It might have 12. I think Suburbans are 12. The Yukon should only be 10. Don't quote me on that. We'll know by the end of this. But it comes with all of your hardware and everything. There's your steering shaft extension. Comes with obviously all your hardware. The kit that I ordered here actually comes with your bumper relocate so that you don't have that silly bumper gap. So our bumpers will actually sit in the same location that the original sit with the body. It won't look silly. It won't be a big gap like you see on a lot of body lifts. So we've got the right kit here. The other thing that you will see is a filler neck extension. So this actually is going to be your extension for the filler neck and the gas tank. Obviously it comes with your hose clamps that you need. This kit is actually legit. Comes with everything you need, except for if you want to do the beauty aspect of it. You can actually order these separate. These are gap guards, which is basically going to be in the wheel well. Basically the same piece that's right here. Mine already has it on this truck, so it'll actually be like an extended piece on this, and then on the back you can actually buy the gap guard, which would actually take care of the gap that you'll see here. So without further ado, all right, so one of the first steps on this kit is to go ahead and disconnect the battery. However, I cannot do that with my truck because I do actually have power seats. So in order for me to reach the bolts, I've got to leave the power hooked up. As you can tell, power seats. So I need to leave the battery hooked up so that I can get this seat out of here, because the driver's seat will have to be removed to mess with the shifter cable. So let's go ahead and get this seat unhooked, and then we'll disconnect the battery. All right, now as you can tell there, I just went ahead and peeled this back all real quick, but you do need to gain access to this shifter cable here. I'm going to get something to kind of pin the carpet back. Like I said, you will need access to this cable here, because this is obviously going to be where you get your extension from. Some of it actually is like glued down or taped down. This just has a couple little pieces, so this should actually be okay to go ahead and extend underneath. But at this point, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery. All right, so after going ahead and disconnecting the battery, we're going to come over here to this side, and we are going to put in our extender piece for the steering column. So this is honestly going to slide. Let's see if I can do this and record. I might not be able to, but this is gonna actually slide over this shaft here, and then it actually comes with a supplied nut and bolt. Put that through, put the washer, the bolt. Ooh, it's definitely hard to do with one hand. Stand by. All right, I was actually able to get that. I'm not sure how well you can see, but the little extender pieces on there. I actually ended up taking a pair of channel locks and kind of biting down on here and kind of like prying the distance. But with that together, it is now time to start the body lift. Ouch. All right, the boot's up. All right, moving down under the vehicle here after getting the battery disconnected and the seat disconnected. They want you to go ahead and disconnect it from here. This is obviously your e-brake cable. They want you to disconnect it from here, and then you're gonna pull this wire out, and the new way it's gonna route is over top of this perch here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this one apart. I'm actually gonna go ahead and spray this thing right now and see what's best. I think the best thing for me to do right now is to break this connector and just order a new one. It's actually in kind of terrible shape, but I am going to spray it and see if I can't let it soak for a little bit while I go ahead and try to do some of the other stuff. So we'll come back to this, but you want to definitely take care of this e-brake. It's got to be disconnected before you start lifting on this body, otherwise you're going to run into some issues. So let me go ahead and spray this, and I'm going to move on to a couple other things. This is where you would, after you get this disconnected, you go ahead and do all the grill and the fan shroud stuff. Like I said, we actually are fortunate enough to have the grill and everything out already, and I'm actually even missing the lower fan shroud on this truck, so I don't have to do any kind of work or anything. I am going to actually try to source a lower fan shroud for this truck because I do want one, but I don't actually have to take one off because I don't have one. But that would be your next step after the e-brake. All right, I went ahead and actually got all the bolts the whole way around out of it. As you can tell, a bolt, and then I got a new one kind of in place right now. Same thing over here. Bolt came out, bolt came out, bolt is out. This one was actually in really, really bad shape. It actually took a little bit of work to get this one out without actually breaking. As you can tell, it's kind of thin in some spots, but it came out perfectly fine. I'm not too mad about it. This corner here, I still have in, or no, this corner is out actually here. This one right here, I still have in place right here so that the whole cabin, everything doesn't just fall off of this thing. You can see we got that one out, and then I also have the one in the front here still actually hanging down in place so that the front can't go anywhere. So at this point, as you can tell on this side, I've got it jacked up with a board. You want to use kind of a long board here. Don't just use something that's real skinny here, because obviously the more area you take up here, the less it's likely to bend the pinch weld. So I went ahead and got a couple boards here. You can see it's starting to lean a little bit, so I want to hurry up and try to get this back down on the mounts. But we went ahead and you can see the blocks in there, see the block in that one. And then I am gonna have to lower it down a little bit to get this block to actually slide the whole way up in place. I'm gonna have to probably lift like back here, and then same with the rear block. I can't really get that in its place right now, so I'm gonna have to probably lift, I would assume like here, and it should be able to lift the back, but I think because I have that other bolt still in the section on this side over there, or on that side over there, I think that's why I can't get this one to lift completely from where we're at. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the new bolts in, get the blocks under, and kind of just start not tighten down this side, but get a few finger turns on it and get this side so that it's locked in, then we'll start the other side. All right, so there we go. We don't have this side completely tightened down. I did go ahead and run it, you know, snug, and then I backed it out just a tad so that I can have a little bit of room. I do have the front, very front one actually snug, and then the very back one is actually snug. They're a little bit more snug than the middle three. The middle three I'm leaving loose in case I needed to go left or right one way or kind of roll a little bit. So go ahead and leave that done, and you can see I did go ahead and spray paint it a little bit because I know how the critics are. Oh man, that thing's rusty. Well, it's not actually that rusty. It's literally just kind of scaly. So we're gonna get this thing all cleaned up. This thing is gonna look freaking killer once we get the next lift installed. But let me go head over to the other side here, and we're gonna get this other lift installed. Alrighty, well, we've got the lift, the body lift, I guess I should say, completely installed, minus the rear bumper. The only reason I didn't do the rear bumper yet, it's super simple, as you guys can tell. I'll go to this side because there's no bracketry. But it's super simple to do the rear bracket. It's just 2 bolts here, comes off, and then you'll actually see like the bracket kit that goes on there, and it just extends your bumper up. However, we are going to be doing aftermarket bumpers to this thing eventually, so I'm not going to go ahead and do it quite yet. I'm still waiting on the part 2 of the video that you will see coming out, which will actually end up being the actual real lift kit to this thing. But huge shout out again to Rough Country Lift Kits for sending me and sponsoring this part on this video. I mean, this thing is going to look freaking killer, but as you can tell, I got to get some paint on this side of the frame. You can definitely tell once you get down low, like, you guys are going to critique that, but I'm telling you guys, it's not actually rust, just surface rust. So we're going to get some paint on this. I do have to get a new clasp for the e-brake, like I said in the video. I ended up having to just peel it apart there, but everything else went together on this thing super easy. So I have that clasp on order. It was only like $4, and I mean, we're just ready to plug and chug and get this thing back together. So there you guys have it. This is how you do an easy body lift. I mean, they are super simple. Anyone can do it. All you need is basic hand tools too. You don't actually need some of the power tools that I had, but they definitely help. But there you guys have it. If you guys like the content, please smash that like button, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in an upcoming video very soon. It actually sounds like it's really getting ready to rain. This is actually really kind of cool. So you guys are going to actually watch it rain with me. Like, I can hear it coming across the street. That is actually, I don't know if you guys can see the back of my neighbor's car over there, but it is pouring on their side of the car. Look at it coming across the street. Here, we'll do it this way. That way you can see it start hitting the hood. Okay, now, I gotta say, that was actually Mother Nature, and that was actually kind of cool. It literally just rained on that side of my street and not my side. Is this real life? I am so glad that I just had my GoPro up for that. Like, you can see, my hood is actually completely dry. There's nothing crazy, nothing wet on it. Oh, it might be coming now. That is actually insane. Yep, now it's coming over here. All right, now you guys can see it's actually really starting to come down on my side of the street. So that's actually freaking cool, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of glad that I just caught that on film. Literally rained on that side of the street first, and now it's over here. But there you guys have it. If you like the content, again, please smash that like button, please subscribe. And now it's downpouring on my side of the street. That is crazy. Like, that is actually wild that I just captured that on film. All right, guys, take care, have a great night, and we'll see you in an upcoming video. All right, as you can tell, I was actually going to just go ahead and do the rear bumper real quick, but this bumper is actually in like really bad shape. Like, it's almost the whole way through in most spots, so I'm not even gonna put it on. As I said, we are gonna do aftermarket bumpers. Like, you can tell, like, that metal is just like getting super thin. Look at that big chunk. So I'm not gonna waste my time putting this thing back on. You can see like big chunks of metal over here, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna just be rusted through at some point. So I'm just gonna save myself some time and some headache, and just wait until I get a new bumper to go ahead and mount one up. So very soon we will have bumpers for this thing and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Again, if you did, please smash that like button, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys in an upcoming video.